looking at it, I'm like, how am I supposed to drill this? But these just pull right open, and then it collapsed. So okay, so I don't know how this happened. Okay, it is Wednesday night. I think we're gonna get some rain soon, so I'm trying to hurry up here. Basically, all kinds of craziness has been going on, but I am working on getting these things and that dowel installed up here. Like I said, I'm gonna basically connect it to the 2x4 that's under here somewhere, and then just somewhere out here have it basically just come out straight, and then have it turn. So I'm gonna chop that dowel and basically saw off the one edge so it's flat, and connect it with a screw and have it go over here to connect to the other one of these, and that way I'll have a nice big hanging thing that I can put up my suits and whatever the hell else I need to hang up there. And then I also picked up these things to help secure the water, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop up a 2x4. That's going to be, or should be, a real easy project. Basically just got to measure it, screw those things in there, put the 2x4 in, boom, done. So yeah, this one I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult because there's like a turn in it, and I got to figure out the measurements for everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this all done before we get any rain going out here. Okay, so I thought there was a 2x4 that ran all the way across there. There is not. The 2x4 runs across the top and then over here, as well as yeah, along the bottom there, but not along the top. I did not realize that. So I am gonna attach it. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna attach it just to the basically as close to the top as I can. Because I don't know if this is really strong enough to hold it. I mean, it's not gonna be a ton of weight on there, but still, this is pretty thin wood. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I want to make sure that I can also drill in from the other side and put in a screw, because this one I would be worried about it coming out of, whereas this one it will be like totally, you know, secure all around. But this one I want to put a screw in, basically drill in this way, and then once I have the wood on there, I can go ahead and just put a screw going right through it into that wood. That way everything's totally secure and not going anywhere. So I'm gonna figure out where I'm putting this. I think I do want it on that 2x4, but I also don't want it sticking super far out. So I don't know, maybe I will try it out over here. I don't know. I mean, I can't really try it once it's on there. It's going to be cut to that length, and I'm not going to be able to really change it unless I just get a whole nother dowel and chop it up to a different size. So I don't know. I'm going to figure out what I want to do. Okay, so I measured out 2 feet going along here. That should be way more than enough space for what I need, but if you look at where it ends, it's over this spot where the fridge is going to be anyway. So I figure might as well just make it nice and big, and I can put jackets up there, all kinds of stuff, and that'll free up more space in the cabinets. And then I have it coming out 6 inches here. So again, that would be where the fridge is anyway. So it's not like it's taking up, you know, floor space or anything. So I just need to figure out, I know 24 inches there, and I know 6 inches over here, but I need to figure out now out in the middle here, is that still 24 inches? Is that still going to be 6 inches? And I don't really know exactly how to figure that out. So I'm going to just experiment and I guess just start doing some cutting and figure it the hell out. Okay, so here it is. It has some amount of kind of bounciness to it still, but on this side I don't see popping out unless something really crazy happens. Maybe I'll try to throw in some kind of angled screw in there or something. This one I actually put 2 screws in coming from the other side, because one was kind of still allowing to, you know, have some rotation to it, but having those 2 in limits that a bit more. So yeah, like I said, I might try to get something else in here just to help hold this side a little bit better. But otherwise I think it is looking pretty good. But only time will tell. Once I start hanging things up there, if it collapses, I will know that it is not as secure as I thought. So yeah, I might experiment with this. We did get a little bit of rain and then it stopped. So I'm going to try to get as much done here before that rain comes. I would like to get that bar thing in there for the water as well. So I might real quick though mess with this just to help this side a little bit more, because even though it's kind of trapped by being surrounded here, I don't want it to be able to like pull out or anything like that. Okay, so first test. I've had these hanging up here for a couple minutes and nothing's falling down. I did throw in another screw there. It seems to do something. I can't pull it out. It still has, you know, a little bit of wobble here at the corner, but definitely seems a lot sturdier. And yeah, I mean, the real test, I guess, is once I'm driving down like a bumpy road, we'll see if everything holds. But for right now, it's got some weight on it and everything's still there. I mean, even if I move this out here, let's see. So you can see when I move it out there, it definitely pulls it a little bit. There's an angle to it, but nothing is actually coming out at all. I'm sure it would be even more sturdy if I had it going into, you know, an actual 2x4, but I didn't want it coming all the way out to here and blocking that much space, because then you figured these suits here, even if the pole's only here, the suits would be out to here, you know, sticking out in the middle of everything, whereas now these are pretty much even with the cabinets there, and I can just slide them down if, you know, I'm sitting right here or whatever, so they're not like right in my face. I can push them back over here so I can see out the door. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the 2x4 and work on getting those in, and that way that's all the wood cutting stuff I need to get done. So if it starts raining, I'll be good if that's already in here, and I can just work on whatever else, organizing stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna do that quick before, I mean, it does look like it's getting actually a little bit sunnier than before, which is weird because it's like the end of the day now, so the sun's finally coming out. I have to say, now that I have that big ass fridge out of here, the solar is doing so much better. I mean, this fan's been running like all day. It's been so hot and humid here, and even it's been cloudy all day, and it was still managing to pull in way more power than it was putting out with that fan running like high all day. So I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna grab that wood, like I said. Basically these two things are gonna go. These all shifted around here somewhat, and these are just falling off, I think, from the heat and humidity. But I'm actually gonna replace these because they're just not working out that great, these magnets. Even with adding glue on them, they still end up popping off sometimes, and you can see these duct tape things are not working out. So I'm gonna end up just getting those, I don't know what they're called, but basically like you have a little hook thingy here and you just slide the thing over and latch it, and you can lift it and slide it back and open it. Basically I just do those all along here, so like one, you know, that connects to the door and one that connects to the bottom, and just go all the way down, and including these here too, so that way I don't have to deal with these magnets. Maybe I'll find some other use for them, but they're not working out too well for the doors themselves. They just don't hold, that sticky stuff doesn't hold to this wood strong enough. It ends up just pulling off there. Like the magnets are too strong compared to the sticky stuff. They need to have stronger sticky stuff. Alright, so basically the idea is I'm going to just put this on here and another one over there. Cut the wood to fit that measurement going across, and then I can just slide the wood down into each of these, and when I want to move the water, you know, dump out the dirty stuff, put in new clean stuff, just lift the wood back out, move the water out, and that's it. I tested this on just a random, it was a 2x4, but it was like, I don't know, I forget, maybe it was like a 2x6. I just tested it just to see how it fit, and it's pretty tight, but this was like the closest thing I could find to what I was looking for. I don't know if I explained this in the video last week, but basically the idea is those old, like you see in movies where they have like a mansion and they want to like block up the door, people are like coming to attack them, and they have, you know, something like this on either side of the door and drop a giant log in between there, and it blocks up the door. So that's basically what I was looking for, just on a much smaller scale. So I might end up just trying to pry this open a little bit more, maybe with like a pair of pliers or something, just to make it so the wood gets in and out a little bit easier. Obviously I don't want to just fall out, but something where it's not so tight. But I'm going to test it on the wood out there, see how it fits on that specific piece of wood, if that wood it has expanded at all from, you know, being out in the rain or anything, this humidity. So we'll see exactly how it fits, but it should be, like I said, a pretty easy job. I might also end up getting a similar thing, or maybe even just putting a 2x4 in here somewhere, because this propane, I didn't I thought that this thing, because it's so heavy, it would never fall over. But actually, when I opened up to check on the water, that's why the water is so far forward. This had tipped over, and it wasn't completely on its side because it was just leaned up against that jug there. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. So I might end up putting something in between here. I'm not sure what or how I would want to do that because I don't want it to take up a whole bunch of space by, like, if I put it here to here, that's going to shift, you know, 2 inches worth everything over. So it'll be nice to have it actually go, you know, from that 2x4 to this 2x4 somehow. But I don't know how I'm going to do that, and I haven't really thought about it a lot because I just noticed right now that it was a bit of an issue when I saw that it was tipped over. Alright, so right now I'm going to go ahead and do some measuring, get these in proper place, but you know, just make sure that however many inches up I'm doing this, I do it the same on each side. Then measure the distance between those two, drop the 2x4, slide it in there, and that's basically it for this job, other than possibly making this a little bit bigger. Okay, so I did some measurements, basically somewhere around this middle point. It's about 9 inches, so I just made a mark there, and I figure that'll sit 9 inches, and the wood will extend, you know, another 3.5 inches above that. And then I was going to go ahead and drill the holes and get the screws in then. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, how am I supposed to drill this? I'm not sure. So, because this is such a small opening here between these two pieces. I think that both screws are just going to have to go in at angles, because there's no way I can get that to be just going straight on there. I even thought, like, oh, maybe these are lined up and you just go through the one to the other, but they're not. They're up. They're, you know, opposing. This one's high, that one's low. So yeah, I mean, the only thing I could think of is I could take, if this is the same measurement, which I'm not 100% sure it is, but if it is, I could, so it goes on like that, low and high, and I could make it, I could just drill those out, possibly, somewhat, and then I would just have to fight with getting the screw in, if that is the same measurement though. So I'm going to experiment with this and try to figure out what the best way is to get this on here. It's going to be especially awkward because I'm going, you know, behind here in this little tight space. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. Okay, so this is in here. It was a pain getting these on here. I didn't end up doing pre-drilling. I just drilled straight in with the screws. This one, I got them in at angles. This one, they were going in straight, and then once they started going straight, I couldn't correct it at that point. Every time I would take them out and put them back in, they just want to go straight in. So I ended up having to bend the bracket down, get them in, and then bend the bracket back up. And yeah, that one definitely is more wobbly, I would say, than that one. But it's definitely going to be nice and secure and keeping that water there. So that looks like it is all good. So I'm going to go ahead and just close that right on up. Get that stupid duct tape stuff off the floor. Alright. So at some point I need to figure out what I'm doing as far as keeping that propane secure. Right now, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Might need to pick up some kind of brackets or something. Like I said, I don't want to just stick it to the side of the these 2x4s and end up taking more space. So I might need to do some kind of bracket, figure out what I could put on there, but it's just hot as hell out here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of the mess I made here and do some relaxing because it is just so humid. It's gross. I mean, I really didn't even do that much work. Just, you know, just cutting that little dowel, messing with those brackets, and I feel like I'm just drenched in sweat because it's like I'm working inside a swimming pool. Like, it's just, everything's just so wet, it's so humid, it's gross. So yeah, I'm gonna just clean up and I will get back to the video whenever. Alright, it is Thursday. I picked up the bracket thingies I need for the wood under there. I picked up 9 of these little locks so I can go ahead and replace. I mean, this stuff with this heat is like not even sticky at all anymore. It doesn't do pretty much anything. I think like the only one that still functions is like this one here. Everything else is just like comes right off. That one actually still good, but let's see. A few of them are actually good, but that one, I mean, you can see I put multiple times. Glue on there, doesn't do anything. This one is like completely just barely hanging on there. It's not even in the right place anymore. This one hasn't been connected in days. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take all those off and put on these new things so I don't have to worry about that, because I have noticed every once in a while, like this wire, because this doesn't actually stay shut really, so it'll end up like falling out of here while I'm driving. It's like, well, a wire is not a big deal, but if I have like dishes up here, that's gonna be a bigger deal. So I want something that's actually gonna keep everything closed. So it's once again ridiculously hot and humid, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get this going, and I'll probably just film once I actually have all these connected just to show it, but it's gonna be a pretty basic process. Just a couple screws that go in. So this little piece I'm gonna put on the ends, and then the bigger piece I'm gonna put on the actual door, and that way it can just slide right down, hold it closed. When I need to open it, I can just turn that thing, go up and over, and then I can easily open and close it, and put it right back down when I'm ready to be done with it. And the screws are in there. I'll have to see what the length of these screws are like. I might end up having to use some of my own screws if they're too long. For this piece I'm not worried about, because this just goes into another 2x4 or whatever, but up here I don't want it sticking through the door like when I was doing these ones, and the ones that came with it would stick through here, so I had to use these 1/2-inch ones. Yeah, it's just ridiculously hot, so I'm just going to try to get this done as quickly as possible, and also try to get that wood cut. I don't think it's supposed to rain at all tonight, so that's one nice thing, but the bad thing is it's just crazy hot and humid, so just do this as quick as I can so I can actually just like relax and not be working out here in this heat. Okay, so those are all on there. Now I have a million magnets up here and a bunch of screws that I don't need, so I'm going to figure out what I'm doing with that. And while we still got a little bit of light, I want to real quick get that piece in down there for the propane. I picked up the same things I used over there, but I'm actually going to use them, I think, the way that they're actually meant to be used. I don't think they were meant to be used the way I used them yesterday, because I couldn't get the screws in that well. Well, I got them in, but it just was a pain in the ass. So I think what they're actually supposed to be like is this side goes up against whatever, and then you slide the wood in and you screw in from either side. Whereas I did, this side goes up against something and you slide the wood in. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just attach those down there with some screws, and then just do a quick measurement, chop that wood, put it right in there, and throw some screws in there, I guess, because I don't really have plans of taking that wood out at any point, because there's nothing that needs to, you know, move in between those spots. So just to make it that much more secure, I add a couple screws in it, and that'll be taken care of. And then the only other thing, I did pick up this. I found one online for Lowe's, and it said it was in stock. I don't know if this is the one that I found online or not, because it didn't really say like the brand, and I couldn't remember the aisle number. I thought it was one aisle, but I went down there, there are no hooks whatsoever. But I'm hoping this is strong enough. I'm going to put it somewhere up here along where the 2x4 is along the back, and then that way I can hang my cast iron pan on it. That's the hope. Cast iron pans are kind of heavy, so I'm hoping that's going to be strong enough. It's a pretty big ass hook there, so I'm hoping it's going to work out. So yeah, so before it gets dark, I want to get that wood cut and in here, and then I can go ahead and work on being less sweaty and gross. Okay, so that's in there. Took me a little while. I had to keep trimming down the ends until it finally got in there, but I just whipped one screw in there, one over there, and I mean, it's so tight in there that I probably don't even need the screws, but I figure why not just throw a couple in there. It's like super secure on there, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that up, put a lock on it there. Alright, so I am gonna work on some cleaning now, because everything is a disaster. I got wood shavings all over from drilling out the holes here, so time to do a little bit of cleaning and get this saw and everything put away, and then time to relax. Yeah, so I probably won't be doing any filming tomorrow, but Saturday is sewing project and whatever else, so I guess I'll be back filming that. Okay, so I just drove with these for the first time, and all these ones up here seem fine, but these just pull right open, even though it's supposed to be locked. I mean, I have it all the way down. I just popped open on both of these. So I am gonna have to go back to Lowe's at some point and get something different, because that literally does nothing. It just goes right open. I don't really understand why. I guess I need something that's gonna be longer. To hold it better. I don't know. Weird. All right. Okay. So I was driving home, and literally, like, as I was driving, I was thinking I should probably do something to add some more support in the corner that's hanging out here, and then it collapsed. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and I guess this weekend I'm gonna try to come up with a better design for that, something that's gonna be stronger and more stable, and not, I see now, I just noticed that ripped big ass hole in there. That screw's still stuck in there. So I'm gonna have to come up with something better that can hold it. It seems fine when all the clothes are pushed up against there, but once I start driving, they'll shift, and if they all end up out here, which is where they will end up, because it's gonna, as more they move down more, it's gonna slant down more, so they end up sliding down to that corner, and it just puts too much pressure on it. There's not any support there. So I'm gonna come up with a totally different design, I guess, to be able to hold that stuff. But for right now, I just gotta clean these up, get them out of here, and it's already getting somewhat late. I did pick up the new thingies here, but I'm not even gonna bother installing them. I'll do that tomorrow morning. I don't know how I'm gonna design something for that. It would be nice if I could have exactly what I had before, but have like then a piece of dowel going up and connecting. But it's like, how am I going to connect that to the ceiling? Then I could connect it, that piece, drill up through that corner part into something, but how am I going to connect it to the ceiling? So I don't know how I'm going to do it. Somehow I gotta make it more stable and stronger, and get that up there. I was thinking about using basically just like almost like curtain rod kind of things, but I think that would end up having the rod too close to this, and the hangers would just be right up against here, and everything would be like angled off of here and stuff. So I don't know if that would really work. I need to have at least a little bit of distance like that off of the wall. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to just think about it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna pick all this up and take care of it, and get ready to do some relaxing, and wake up tomorrow and take care of that, and then get the sewing taken care of, and figure out what the hell I'm doing with the dowel thing. Alright, good morning. It is Saturday. What I'm thinking I might do up here, so those kind of hook things that might hold like a rod for like a curtain I was talking about yesterday, I might get those, but instead of hooking them here, because like I said, it would be too close to the wall, the hangers would just be banging into this, and the clothes would all be kind of at an angle. Instead, I might hook them up here, so obviously be this kind of sideways, and then just drill a hole through the dowel, through the hanging thing, put a screw through there, and same on the one over here, and then also just have it line up with this, I guess, or something. I don't know, at bare minimum will help cover this up, but I also could put a screw going through there to get one more point of attachment there. So that's my best thought right now. I don't have any of that stuff right now. Right now I'm gonna quick work on getting this stuff fixed, hopefully. And if it doesn't get fixed, I'm gonna be going right back to Lowe's, because I have a long drive today to go meet up with my sister to get this all sewed up, along with the curtain stuff and everything. So I don't want this all banging around while I'm driving down the highway for several hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and break open the packs here. So these ones were 2 inches. They had labeled there that they had 4-inch ones, but I only could find one pack of them. I was like, well, I need 2, so I got the 3-inch ones. I'm hoping that I can actually just use this same piece right here. That way I only have to put on one new piece for each of these. And I'm hoping that this is now going to be long enough of that, the rod that'll go through here, and then it won't just open right up like this does. But we will find out. Okay, so this one I left on here. This one I popped off the old one, and just threw in these 2 screws where they already lined up. I need to put in the other tube. I just want to test it out, and this one seems like hopefully it should actually be holding here. I'm pulling on them here and seems to be staying together. They definitely, you know, slightly budge open like that, but that's it. So I think these are actually going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and put those 2 other screws in and then replace that one over there. Test that one as well, make sure it definitely works, and that should be done. Okay, so this one still comes right open. This one does not. So I'm thinking it's because that one, I'm guessing, is a little bit closer together, so that thing goes in there further, I guess. I don't know. I just don't get why it just keeps sliding open like that. So the only thing I can think of is try to move these a little bit closer together. It's going to be a little bit of pain because they're pretty close to the edge anyway, and if I try to just move it over just a tiny bit, the screws want to go in the hole where it already is anyway. But I don't know what else to try, so I'm going to go ahead and just give it a shot. If that doesn't work, I guess I'm going to have to get a whole just different type of lock for this, something that isn't straight, something that actually, I don't know, has like some kind of something different on it where it can't just slide out like that. Okay, so it's an improvement. I got them as close as I can get them. I mean, you can see that they're right up against each other, and it still does that. It at least doesn't open completely, but I don't feel like dealing with that the whole time that I'm driving, and stuff. Potentially then something small could then drop off that shelf down to there. So I'm just going to find something different, and while I'm at it, I might just pick up 2 of them, whatever I find, so that way that one's a little bit more secure too. Another trip to Lowe's. Alright, so I'm not even going to bother putting on those extra screws on that one. Just going to go ahead and kind of pack up whatever I need to pack up here, and take a ride over to Lowe's, I guess, before I have to go hit the road to drive several hours, because I really want this stuff secure, even though there's nothing really in there right now. I don't feel like it just flopping all around. It was annoying even just driving back and forth to work with it opening and closing and everything, so really want to get that actually secure. I don't understand, I mean, yeah, that didn't do anything, so I don't really understand the physics of how that just magically comes undone like that, but for whatever reason it is not working properly at all. So I will go ahead and just organize these screws so there's not screws all over the place, and then it'll be time to once again go to Lowe's. Okay, so this is what I went with. They had a different thing there that was like a rod that went up and could go over and attach. I wanted to get that. They had a box of it there, and in the box was just a bunch of random shit. I couldn't find any of the actual things, so this was the next best thing I could find. It'll at least keep it closed, but it will allow it to somewhat open from just what I'm seeing here. So I'm not super happy with it. I'm definitely going to end up just replacing it at some point, but just for at least this weekend, just to be able to drive around and not have it constantly slamming open and shut. I figure at least this will do something. So I'm going to put these on here. It'll at least help keep it somewhat closed, and then I will either have to order online, I guess, or find it at whatever store, something else that will actually keep it fully shut all the time unless I want it to be open. I was about ready to say screw it and just put some screws in here, and I mean, it's just, I don't understand why those things, they had a big ass box, and then the box was full of anything but what was supposed to be there. So in my opinion, these look way worse and they don't function. I mean, I didn't get to test the other ones out obviously because they didn't have them, but the other ones looked like they should have worked way better than this. But like I said, I just want to put something on here to keep these closed, so it's not just constantly slamming open and shut. So this is what I'm just going to whip on there for now, and yeah, these will end up getting replaced because in my opinion they kind of look like shit, and I mean, I didn't screw this in yet, but just from doing a little test on it, it doesn't seem like it's going to hold it completely closed. It's just going to keep it from actually, you know, fully opening and then slamming back shut. Okay, so these are on here. they allow, you know, a little bit of opening there. I hate the way they look. I hate how they stick out so far there. I don't like how they allow it to open a little bit, but for at least this weekend, just being able to drive around and not have stuff constantly falling out of there and doors banging all over the place, it's at least something. So I guess I'm just going to get rid of these because they're just useless, and then I will just look into, I guess, ordering or finding a store that actually has them in stock, those rod things that go like that, that'll look nicer and in theory should actually hold it fully shut and not partially shut. Alright, so I'm gonna work on some more organizing and stuff quick before I have to hit the road, and then I guess I'll film some updates when these are all covered with stuff or something, I don't know. Alright, it is Sunday. I'm gonna work on getting some of this stuff hooked up for the little curtains for those windows, and for the big curtain that's gonna be over here. The cushion things are currently in progress right now, so whenever those are done I will show those, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these hooked up for the back windows. For the front one, I'm gonna put one of these on each side, so one over here somewhere near the top, and one over here, probably just into this, so I don't have to worry about it going through the outside of the van or anything. And then I will tie the like rope stuff to the one, and to the other one I'm going to tie it to this and then clip it onto that one, and that way then I can have the curtain going across, and when I don't want the curtain I can unclip it, take it over here and just clip it to the other little one. That is the plan, so let's see how it works. Alright, so here's the first one. So what I did was, this wasn't supposed to be installed sideways, but I just did it anyway, because if I did it straight up and down, there would have been more of a gap at the top. Whereas here now, it's really flush with the, you know, the wood here, so that way it can be all the way to the top, nice and secure, and it's long enough that it comes all the way to the bottom and come out like this. And I checked on the other side, and even with this window open like this, all you can see is just black. It looks like the window is just closed or tinted or something. So yeah, so it's just this cool red floral thing and then just black on the other side, and I think it's working pretty awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to put the other one on, and then I'm gonna start messing around with the big one over there. Okay, so those are both on there. They're looking pretty awesome. So now I'm working on up here. I put a hook in here. That's as far as I can get it going, but it seems to be pretty sturdy in there. This one, the 2x4 only goes up this high because then there's this wire that runs through there, and there's nothing up here. So I wanted to hook it down to something more secure than just that thin plywood. So I put it in there, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and one of those hooks that I don't need back here anymore since I took out that wood, I took out, and I'm going to go ahead and put that just right there. Hopefully if I can drill into it. I only just got started with it, and then decided I should film a little bit. So I'm going to put that there. That way I can run the sheet along here and have it hooked up there as well, to kind of give it a little bit more lift since that one's a bit lower. And I mean, even this one is all the way up here, but then obviously the curvature of the van, it'll help kind of lift it up a bit more to get it all the way to the top there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that on there, and I don't remember if I explained this or not, but basically the one end of the sheet that's going to cover everything here, the curtain, whatever the hell it's called, is going to be tied here. The other one's going to be tied to this and clipped onto here, and then that way when I want to take it down I can just unclip it, and then if I can fit it on here along with the thing that's tied on there, I'll just clip it there. If I can't, then I'll put like another hook like right next to it or something and clip it to that. So yeah, so that's the game plan. I'm gonna go ahead and get that on there, and then we'll test everything out. Okay, so I don't know how this happened. I couldn't get that hook in there, so I thought maybe I will put a screw in and then take the screw out, and then be able to get the hook in. And somehow I barely put any pressure on it. I only hit the drill, trigger it like twice, and it just snapped in half. I don't even know what the hell happened. So now I'm going to use some pliers to try to get the back out of there and figure out what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so for this, what I opted for, you can see I hooked it up here. do need to trim this down a bit. I just ignored this. I tried to drill the crap out of it in the middle, see if I could get it to come out or break or anything. Wasn't really getting anywhere, so I just took one of those magnets, put it up here, so that way I can have it hooked there and over here, and I just put this magnet on there and it holds it there really well. I did kind of screw up the measurements. I measured across the top instead of the bottom, so it is a little bit skinny on the sides, but it still works. It looks really, really good. And then over here are the cushions. They look awesome. I have to test them out just to make sure everything fits as far as, you know, setting up the actual kind of bed scenario, but they look awesome. So biggest shout out ever to my sister, because if I attempted to do this, this would have all looked like total crap. So I think it came out really, really nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and test that out and clean up some of this stuff here, and that might be it for this week, because I don't really have anything else down here to work on. So it might be just waiting until hopefully Tuesday, because Monday I have to drop my car off after work to get them to figure out why the hell that check engine light is on and fix that. So hopefully then I'll have it back by Tuesday night and can get back to working on like this whole freaking scenario and whatever else I'm going to be working on while I continue to wait for the fridge.